We're going on the Twitch at least.
All right, and we're going on this. And let me hit record for the audio podcast. All right, we're live, Michael.
All right. Okay. Just scratching my shoulder. My shoulder itches. So we got 2 viewers now, so everything should be set. It's probably
All right.
us.
Yeah, it's not me.
But
I mean, in true Truck Schmucks fashion, what would our show be without technical difficulties?
Exactly.
hey, we're gonna start at like 1:30. 2:04.
2:04, we're rolling
Finally
in.
got this figured out.
This is like baseball. It's raining. You know what? We hit a rain delay, folks.
Yeah.
So gentlemen,
Snow delay.
we are live. We're doing our first little live. Live. We have to use air quotes because for the people watching, welcome. I am John. We're going to go around the triangle to introduce everybody. And thanks for joining us on this crappy New England day.
It ain't terrible out, but it ain't great.
No, I mean, it's definitely a good day to be quarantined inside your house.
Yeah.
So we'll go do the normal intro like we did on the first episode. So I am John. I am originally from New Hampshire. I started my firefighting career there. Very busy department. My dad, my uncle were officers in that department. And I dealt with, let's go through my little thing. I was on that department for 10 years.
1975.
Exactly, 1975. Nope, I was on that department in New Hampshire for 10 years, and I loved it. I learned a crap ton from the guys there. We did a lot of calls ranging from obviously cats in the tree. I've done that to major structural fires, and we saw a lot of motor vehicle accidents. So I got a lot of experience in that. And then I ducked out of the fire service for a little bit to deal with the old mental health piece, find my way again. And then I moved to Maine, and I found these two lovely gentlemen, and here we are. We'll go down. I'm gonna pass the baton down to Bagels.
Down, it's over on my screen.
Oh, whatever.
Just give me a second. I was just double checking Facebook post.
Yep.
Hello, I am Mike. I'm an idiot, professional idiot. So I've been doing this since I was 17. I started my junior year of high school because a friend of mine was on the department in the town we went to high school in, and I was like, you know what? That sounds like it might be a good idea. So I did it, and then was like, holy crap, this is a good idea. Did that for like a year and a half, 2 years, graduated high school, and then I took like, I don't know, maybe like 3 years off, 4 years off. I kind of was moving around. I was bored. I decided to go out to Montana for like 2 years. I was just kind of bored. Came back and then was like, all right, now I want to actually like get into this and do it as my career. So then, I banged out getting my basic, and then I banged out getting pro board fire 1 and 2. And I've been doing it now for like, at this point, total, I would say it's probably been like 6-7 years consecutively in one go. It's been about like 5 now, something like that. So that's kind of where I'm at.
So on my screen, we'll just, I'll pass it over to Travis.
Right. So as they both just said, I'm Travis. To start things off, I'm originally from Kansas. I came up here from Kansas in 2003, and I've been up here. I don't know. I'm not going to try and really figure that out because my math is bad. I've been here since. Well, actually, I took a break after high school, graduated, moved back down to Kansas. went through my phases down there of life and of being a little hellion. Came back up here, and I started late. I got into first volunteering with a fire department of the town that I lived in when I was just before I turned 24. So I was on there for a few years. I was an exterior guy. Would go out to calls, was strictly on the call force. Then about a year later, I would go and get my fire 1 and 2. It's on time.
Thank you. I was trying not to sneeze. Sorry.
And but I went and got my fire 1 and 2. Shortly after, got my EMT basic. Rode off of my EMT basic for a little while. Did that. Rode the ambulances. Worked for DM a few places. Then I went and got my advanced EMT license, and I'm still working consecutively, all at one go. Maybe just shy of, I don't know, 7 years. Like I said, my math's bad. That's really all I got.
Yeah.
The reason why I decided to get into the fire service was because early in my life, there was a family tragedy. We had my cousin, who was a really good friend of mine. I was 8 years old. He was outside playing with gasoline, matches, and leaves, and it ended up very badly, and he's not with us anymore. So that spurred me into, oddly enough, wanting to get into this line of work. But that's all I got.
Yeah, I done similar stuff as a kid. Just not the gasoline. Definitely matches and leaves.
I mean, who
Fell into a fire. I fell into a campfire when I was a kid once. Yeah, that was fun.
So excellent. Thank you, gentlemen. Seems kind of weird we're going through introductions again. It's like first episode here. We're going to be placing this on the YouTube. I almost called it the boob tube. So you guys can watch it. So I got to click on the right episode for show notes. Sorry,
that's what I'm doing too.
Sorry, I was bopping in and out of the camera frame. All I could hear was cues, air horns, and all I was hearing was sirens. So I'm like, and where I am in my house is I can pretty much have a straight line view of the city on what's going on. So I can actually see down onto Main Street and everything like that. So I could see fire trucks and red lights. So
probably a medical call because it's not like anyone posted it on the Whacker page.
That's what I was doing while everybody was talking. I was looking at the Whacker page.
I gotta look at the county Whacker page.
What you doing there, Michael?
I was just listening to a stream. Nothing on the radio.
All right, cool.
I forgot in the introduction. I'm originally from New York, upstate New York. So there you go for background. But I was following one of the county Whacker pages for where my hometown was, and they literally even call themselves the whatever county Whacker Wire or some crap like that. So I just joke and call all those pages the Whacker pages because they kind of are. It's just scanner listeners and people curious what's going on.
Right, but it's mainly made up of other
people
firefighters
from other departments.
But yeah, I mean this episode is kind of fit. We're kind of doing our first live stream, through Zoom, which is kind of ironic on what our topic is every day right now where we're all quarantined in our house. We can't go out and, we would love to have done this sitting at one of our local bars. Well, I can't say bars, local restaurants, just sitting in the corner with a laptop in front of us and a microphone. And, but we can't because we are social distancing. At first, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but when this all started, I think we all took this as a big giant joke. It's the flu. It's the
yes
flu
and no
steroids.
Yeah.
I know I did, but very quickly, my view of it all changed. And then, obviously, I work in the healthcare industry as my full-time job. You know, I do a little bit of stuff with our department as a call guy, and I do some per diem stuff when I can. But, you know, like I said, you know, it's kind of a fitting thing of us doing our first webisode when we're talking about every day should be a training day, and what are ways that you can go out and still get that fire knowledge without leaving your home. And I know I have been taking part in a lot of fire lecture, web-based lectures.
Webinar something.
Yeah, exactly. So
webinars and stuff like that.
Huge props. And if you're not following these two guys, you need to. First is Captain Bobby Eckert from Eckert Fire Tactics. Dude is awesome. The fucking dude. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna drop the F-bomb now. The fucking dude brings. He has this level of fire knowledge, and he brings it down to this level. So everybody, no matter what level, first day fire academy student to the senior guy, can understand.
He explains rocket science to a toddler.
Exactly. And he even says that. He dumbs it down so, you know, we can understand it. I took his Fireground Considerations lecture. Blew my mind. It opened my eyes to a bunch of shit. And just this past week, I think on Tuesday, I took his Idiot's Guide to Building Construction. It was amazing. It actually really dumbed building construction down. And also, Travis and I took part this morning in a 2.5-hour web lecture from Chief Nick Martin. He's a battalion chief down in, I don't want to get this wrong. But anyway, he's a battalion chief. Yeah, Salisbury, North Carolina. So he's down there. He's been, if you do his lectures, he'll tell you his full resume. The dude has seen some fire. Excuse me, going through puberty. And
puberty already, God.
Last Saturday, I did his aggressive aggressive engine operations webinar. Amazing. And just today, Travis and I, we sat, like I said, 2.5 hours of listening to aggressive truck ops from the inside, working as a team inside of a burning building. And I don't know about you, Travis, but I took a lot away from that 2.5 hours. It's definitely going to change the way my mind thinks at a building fire.
Oh, absolutely. This just being the first time I've attended one of those, I'm fully like going to attend all the classes that I can, because it's solid.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of new things, and also it helped me brush up on things that I was also taught in Fire 1 and 2.
Right. And then when was the last time we all sat through a Fire 1 and 2 class? I know I haven't since 2007, but also I also attended, a fool's training. And again, and if anybody out there in the fire service, get out there, look up your local fools chapter, figure out when they're doing a training and attend one. You are getting, especially in New England, I'm a fool. I joined the Fools this past year, and the New England guys, Rusty, he has put together a great bunch of freaking guys, and I was really disappointed because COVID kind of, there was up in Topsom, there was an entire weekend planned out for just structural firefighting and interior operations, and in New Hampshire, they were doing an auto extrication thing, and this virus just put the kibosh to that, which sucks because I wanted to go to both of those and meet brothers from other parts of New England. Yeah, excuse me.
I gotta say, if you want to learn about like auto extrication, and you're in the main area, Chief Payson from North Yarmouth Fire, that's like his little niche topic. The amount of stuff he knows about extrication is just, he knows so much. That's like his nerd topic, the stuff he likes to go over. I did like a quick, it wasn't a class, but we did a training night with him and the department, and it was freaking ridiculous. The amount of stuff he knows about extrication.
Right.
He's one of those people that, like, you want to learn one specific topic really well, go talk to him about extrication.
I mean, again, that department in New Hampshire that I was part of for forever, it feels like, that was our bread and butter. Literally, we showed up with the heavy rescue truck and an engine and the ambulance and full crews on everything, and we went right to freaking work. You know, Route 16, I'll friggin' say it, Route 16 corridor from, you know, Rochester to Conway. You know, there's a little stretch in there, figure it out. And we saw some heavy crashes during that time I was there. But yeah, just the little takeaways that I took from both classes. You know, hang on, I'll even use the exact quote from Chief Martin. I gotta find it. I wrote it. I wrote it down.
Get your book.
Here we are. All right. No, number one, this is how he started his presentation with aggressive engine ops, is the nozzle is the ultimate problem solver. That's it. If you are working on an engine, and this blew my mind because we were always taught, when you go inside, bring a tool. No, if you're operating on an engine, your hose line is your tool. And that blew my mind. I was like, oh man, that makes total fucking sense. Why? Because I know for me in the Fire Academy, when I was going through with a hose line, I was dropping my tool and I lost focus. I mean, there's got to be pros and cons, but you know what? He knows his shit, and I'm going to trust him.
If you're on a hose line and it's like two of you, nozzle man, backup guy.
That is it.
If you happen to have three, the third guy with maybe like a hook, and like that's it.
Right. I mean, I know today in his lecture, you know, for anybody who wants to go rent it, you know, look him up and definitely go rent it. It's $35. We're not plugging anything, but we took a lot from it, and we're using this platform to help our brothers out. And just like all the help coming in to us, you know, not to drop names, but we'll talk about it off the air. But there is an outpouring of support even coming into us while we're giving it out. But yeah, shit, I lost my spot. And some more takeaways is always have that combat mindset. Like I think we've talked about it in the last episode of our podcast, is treat every alarm like you're going to the real thing. Like treat it like you are going to the worst fire of your career. And don't be afraid to train. Don't be afraid to train. You know, like we're doing now. We are doing this. So one, just to add something new to our platform. Two, just to show you that it is just this easy to go out and find training. And I know we're going to get shit for this one. But the one thing I took away, and it's just a word, is there's no such thing as transitional attack. That verbiage shouldn't be in a firefighter's repertoire. I get it. But you're either going offensive or defensive at a fire. You're spraying water to make that push. That's offensive. You're being offensive. If you know there's so much fire pushing out, just because you pull up on the A side and there's fire ripping out of the doorway, the front windows, you know something? Go around. do a complete 360, because guess what? The B side, the C side, or the D side, you may have perfect entry into the building to make that push. I think he mentioned it again. Chief Martin did, Travis, this morning. You know, and you know, that's our takeaway. Is it is just this easy. Literally, I was talking to a fire captain this week, and I was really interested on when he was going to do a webinar on hoarding and structural firefighting, hoarding conditions in a structural firefighting environment. Hoarding, and he was like, he really wants to do one, which I really hope he does, because I would take that in a fucking heartbeat.
Oh, absolutely.
But you want to know something? This is how easy it was. I went on, I searched him up, I searched the topic, and boom, there it is. A complete webinar on his YouTube page. But that's how easy this is of staying combat ready as a firefighter locked up in a fucking house. You know, fire engineering, fireengineering.com, firehouse.com. They have topics up the wazoo of articles you can read.
Oh, there's so many articles. You can read about practically anything.
Exactly. And again, you know, just other podcasts are doing things like this. You know, I watched two things of National Fire Radio. Rob and Jeremy, they had a whole bunch of guys on there. You know, I posted it on our Instagram, and I was like, yes, finally. You know, something like this is coming out, and you know, I'm super. You know, I'm that person that's got to find the positive out of shitty situations. And this is one of them. Is we are getting FDIC level trainings, essentially, at a market value where we can all attend. You know, all of us can't attend FDIC, and we're getting these FDIC types of trainings right in our hands, and you just need to go out there and grab the bull by the horns and get it done. Just because, you know, one person does it one way in Ishkish, Wyoming, and you're in Caribou, Maine, you know, we all do the same freaking job. And, you know, 16 ways to skin a cat.
Are we skinning the cat?
No, we're not skinning the cat, but I'm just saying. We're feeding two birds with one scone.
You're killing two stones with one bird.
That's right.
Yes.
English
I
teacher.
don't think PETA will like that one. You know, and you know, so I mean, Travis, and your normal everyday job, how has the virus affected you guys? I mean, you guys operate how many stations, and you guys have guys firefighters. I can't say guys, but
People.
Yeah, you guys have
employees.
There we go. We'll be PC.
It's definitely slowed things down, being that almost every single call is positive U21. And it's now gotten to the point, and rightly so, that even with stuff like alarm soundings, we're going in on air.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are doing that method where you're packing up?
Yep.
I mean,
I haven't done it myself yet. But I have a feeling that opportunity is coming up.
Are you going to be switching to are you going to be transferring to headquarters?
So
they usually just keep the full timers there, right?
No, it's.
I was about to say that because you guys share a building with the cops in dispatch. Cops. And that's the other thing. I just want to point out that Captain Eckert, he has a funny fucking joke about cops. If you can't handle the heat of the fire service, go become a cop. Everybody has a cool haircut.
Yeah, a lot of cops.
I fucking love that. I fucking laughed my dick off on that. But yeah, sorry to interrupt, Travis.
No, that's no worries. There's been a lot of there's been a lot of issues. It's been set back a few times. I mean, which is whatever. You know, to expect things to be perfect and, you know, be on time all the time the first time is extremely arrogant, because there's going to be problems with anything. I'm excited to see the new building, but oh, you muted yourself.
I did mute myself.
Good
So,
job.
and your new building is literally you pull out of the old building and you look to the left and it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop, there it is.
Oh, exactly. Whoop, there it is. That was just like me and that fire Sully when we had that job a couple weeks ago. Typical fireman thing in the afternoon. We just got our asses handed to us with a couple of med calls, and yet I just sat back in the recliner and dozed off. The next thing I know, I feel a kick on my chair, and he's like, "Mason, wake up!
There's a fire."
There's a structure." I was like, "What?" He's like, "We got a structure fire." I'm like, "We got a what?" I thought he was messing. I thought he was fucking with me. But no. We pulled out with the engine. He's like, he's new to the district, so he's like, "Where do we go?" I'm like pulling it up on the map really
You're
quick.
like, hold on, I gotta look.
Exactly, because I'm like, I don't recognize the street. And so I look on the map on the CAD, and and then we start pulling out, and I'm looking left, looking right for traffic, and then I'm like, I see the smoke to our left. I'm like, hey, it's down there. It's down there. So we're pulling out just as I'm signing us on to dispatch. We're pulling in, and at the same time as the officer on duty, I can't really remember what I did, but all I know is I hopped out, packed up, pulled a line, and I fucking aggressively attacked that fire, really hard. Evidently, there's a photo out there of me in the doorway and the fucking fire lapping over me.
Doing your job.
Doing work, getting some.
Doing your job that everyone else is afraid to do.
That's a different topic for another day. But yeah, I mean, like training wise, obviously you guys can't go out and train Travis. I mean, like how do you guys social distance?
You kind of could in small groups if you think about it, because you're already on shift together. I guarantee you the driver's seat and passenger seat is closer than 6 feet.
Right. And I mean, yesterday, the station I was at, they pulled out the ladder, and we went out, and so there's this building that's right next to the station, and they set a cone right on top of the building's roof.
Oh, were you putting the cone on the cone?
Yeah, they were doing the kind of the giant claw machine. And
ladder placement.
Yep. So that was fun, and even when we're not out doing stuff like that, we're looking up videos. And yesterday, for close to like a couple hours, I was just scouring YouTube for videos on pumping.
Yeah.
And then he was messaging me being like, there's no good videos on pumping.
I know. I was so frustrated. I was like, God damn it.
There is everything, but because it's not glamorous. Nobody wants to fucking learn how to pump a truck on YouTube. Sorry, I talk with my hands a lot, people. Even when we're doing the show, I talk with my hands. I'm very, very on the on the thing. But yeah, there's no videos on pumping. Guess what? Make one. I want to. Next time you go up, next time you're on shift and you're assigned to the engine, be like, hey, Cap, or Lou, hey, is it okay if we go out, we do some pumping, and I record it and put it on the YouTube? As long as I keep the department,
away from it.
Away from it. There, exactly. I've done like 3 of them.
There it is.
But yeah, I mean, there's nothing out there. I mean, I posted a video on our Facebook page of the video that started it all for me on truck work. LA County. I was just bored as a junior firefighter one day, sitting at home, And I looked up, you know something? I really like LA County. Let's see what they got for work. And I typed in LA County.
LA County Fire.
And this roof operations video jumped up, and it had exactly that. It had Social Distortion's cover of Ring of Fire in it, and it was that exact video. The one that I really love the most is when the guy is up on the roof, no pack, and it's a flat roof, definitely a commercial style building. And he's like, 1, 2, 3, throws the axe, grabs his saw, and just starts opening up the fucking roof. And man, those fucking guys out there, I really want a California firefighter to come on the show just so we can talk about, because the way they fucking fight fire out there is extremely aggressive. It is like in your face, F you style of
Hey,
fire.
there's a fire, and then run into it.
Exactly. They're freaking opening up the roof while it's still venting through the roof. And they're still
Like, let's just make more holes. Fuck it.
Exactly. And, I mean, the one thing that I fucking hate about their roofs is they have those clay friggin' tiles that like stack on top of each other.
Oh,
I don't know what to call
they
them.
look red. It's the terracotta
Yeah, and they like set on top
curve.
of each other.
Yeah, and you gotta.
Yeah,
you really so you gotta get rid of them and then get into the roof.
And I remember at the academy, one of our instructors, everybody knows who he is in this part. I don't want to drop his name, but he was telling us, see, I'm going through puberty, guys.
Finish already.
Sorry, I like to talk a lot. And he was telling us that when they get to a job and there's smoke pushing out and they need to make a vent hole, they actually need to crack those types of shingles because they're really slippery. You step on them and they only want to do is slide.
Well, it's basically ceramic.
Yeah, it's ceramic shingles and they suck. And now they're starting to make their way up here on summer homes. I actually seen a couple of summer homes with them on, and I'm like, that is just fucking dumb. But hey, they're aesthetic and they look nice. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that, you know, at least you guys are getting out and actually being able to do stuff, even though it's house training instead of department-wide training, like we all would like to do.
Your shift and your crew can still go do training because you're already around each other. So if you're just going off behind the building doing your own thing, unless someone like runs up on you and coughs in your face, you're already around each other. So
right,
it's just the whole we're not going to have trainings is more of like we're not going to have 15 guys and a bunch of off-duty guys come in a classroom and be like shoulder to shoulder, oh yeah, we're going to go over this PowerPoint.
I mean, because you don't know what Joey did. You know, Joey's a call guy. Joey's still an essential employee, and he's not gonna tell because somebody accidentally sneezed on him in the freaking market basket line. You know, and they weren't staying 6 feet, and then he shows up, possibly COVID positive, and he shows up and gives Travis COVID. Guess what? Now Travis is out for 2 weeks.
Freaking COVID.
Dirty COVID bastard. But, you know, I get it. I think opening up everything right now is just a bad idea. Obviously, what we were talking about, you know, before we hit the record button, you know, we're now China is starting to see the second surge of COVID, which is not good. That's not something that we want to hear, especially if, you know, let's just stay the course. You know, obviously it's working. Hopefully, I haven't even gotten the numbers for the last 2 days. Actually, that's a lie. I actually got the numbers yesterday.
The numbers.
The numbers. We went well over 800 confirmed cases in the state of Maine, which is kind of scary. I know when I left.
Yeah, but you got to look where they are too.
Yeah.
They're in the two counties with the biggest cities.
Exactly. There is one county in the state of Maine that doesn't have any confirmed cases, which is kind of shocking.
Rustic, isn't it?
No, it's Piscataqua.
Oh yeah.
The middle of the fucking state is it.
Because it's all like dirt roads, and no one really goes there except the people that live there.
It's logging. It's like, so obviously, it's like Greenville, Moosehead Lake, that area.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously. So, I mean, and other ways that you can stay training is talk to other brothers and sisters on social media. I know I've been doing that. I've been talking to trying to stay connected with other guys that I went to the fire academy with, or that went on and now are full-time on the job, and other, instructors that, through social media, we have the ability to reach out on, so, which is exciting to me. I get all giddy when I get to talk to other firefighters, because, like I said, just because the way I fight fire isn't the way they fight fire. But yeah. See, and this doesn't work, when I thought it was going to be like YouTube live, and we're going to do a little Q&A, so that kind of puts the kibosh on. I was so excited.
It got a little wonky. We've had the YouTube page. Like I set it up when we first started, even though we didn't do anything with it. I just had it as a backup for like uploading the podcast and everything, if we couldn't figure out like a good platform in which to do it. And then so I was like, oh yeah, if we can just go YouTube live. So John had gone on last night, and you have to like activate being able to
verify our account.
Stream. Yeah, which I had already verified it as a real account like 2-3 months ago. But then it was like, oh, you have to wait 24 hours before you could go live. So then when we went on to do it now, it was like, you have to wait 24 hours. It's like, but we did it yesterday. But it's only been 21 hours. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, and then we were about to be like, we'll just record an episode and post it, whatever. And I was like, wait a minute. I have a Twitch account that I've had for years and don't really do anything with it, except for when I get randomly bored and stream a video game off the computer.
So,
like, well, I guess that'll work.
So while we're talking about it, is it like a little chat feature that people can actually ask questions and pick our brains?
If you had an account on Twitch, you could ask, but then there's also like other ways.
Well, screw it.
Quickly send us a telegram.
Or as the guy in the video this morning that Chief Martin showed us, fuck it, we'll just do it. That was fucking awesome. Literally, they're walking up to a structure. The front door is closed and locked, and the guy like looks at it, is like
fuck it, let's just
fuck it, let's just go. And he just jams the fucking Halligan into the door, and he's like, hit, and open up the door, and that freaking thermal barrier just sunk right down to the floor. I'm like, get some brothers. Shameless plug, and these guys have been freaking awesome. Just some, Travis, hit us with some Spanish there. Tell us what coffee this is.
Muertos coffee.
There it is.
I want to try some.
Dude, it is freaking delicious. Like, again, we are not sponsored by Muertos Coffee. But I have been talking to them, trying to get at least one of those guys onto the show. And so we can talk about coffee and firefighting, because those guys are actually out in California. And also, I'm working on some other things too. But yeah, super good coffee. Like, get the whole bean one, so you can grind it at home. The Leatherhead is what I have here. It's fucking delish.
Nice.
You gotta drink it black though.
Yes.
Don't add that cream and sugar shit. To get the full effect. But so I'm trying to put off this next segment as much as possible, because I don't want to talk about it.
Well, real quick. Well, then
we'll save it. We'll save it for the end of the episode. That way I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just to go off what I was talking about earlier, with the whole pump videos and shit like that, I'm not gonna lie. When I first started off where I'm working now, I was fucking petrified of the pump. Scared as shit. but the more comfortable I'm getting, I'm not perfect at it. I know basic bitch stuff, but the better I get at it, the more I'm like, all right, I want to learn more. Let's go learn more. Why am I holding a cone? I want to see more. And like, I'm really honestly going to take an advanced pump operators course, because the more I learn about it, like I said, the more comfortable I am, and it's not that scary. It's not going to bite my fucking feet off.
Right. And before COVID happened, I actually talked to my dad, because again, as we all know, that's all my dad did. He was a captain and he was an outstanding firefighter. For anybody who doesn't get that joke, my dad spent a lot of his career outside on the pump panel. And he was very happy. I mean, I have been to fires where me and my dad are standing in staging, and then the next thing I know, I turn my shoulder, my dad's gone. And like three seconds later, I see him pulling ceiling. I'm like,
You're like,
the fuck? But I will say the funniest thing I saw was we were at a fire, and it was a multi-alarm fire. And earlier that day, we just had a second alarm building fire ourselves on this department. And then we went to a third, I just got home, started eating dinner, and then we get banged out for a third alarm structure fire in a mutual aid department. And we pull up, and there is just fire smoke chugging from this multi-story building. And my dad's like, I think I'm going to fucking put a pack on.
you know what? I'm bored. I'm going to actually go in.
He's like, I'm tired of fucking pumping trucks. I fucking pumped enough today. I'm like,
There was,
you're doing what? It's like, yeah, just give me the irons and we'll fucking tootle up to the house and we'll ask command where they want us. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you think you can hang with me, old man? He's like, listen here, young buck.
there was a while there where like, it was a good year and a half where literally all I ever managed to do was drive. Even when I came in for calls off shift, I was always the driver, which I was fine with, but like gets boring after a while.
Yep.
Because I was usually on shift with someone who wasn't signed off to drive the engine. So I was driving the engine to everything. And then even when I would come in, I lived so close that I would be like one of the first people there. So I'd just be like, fuck it, we'll do it live. And I'd get in the driver's seat and just go. Be like, let's go, driving again.
I will honestly say, it was a weird, like 60-degree January night, and we got that building fire, and I ended up driving an engine. I was scared shitless. I thought I was gonna have to pump a truck. I honestly thought I was gonna have to pump a truck. I'm like, pumping's not my thing. Pumping's not my thing.
Yeah, it was like that for the first fire, and then once you do it, you're like, it ain't that bad. Fuck it.
And as I was where I was going with my story is, before COVID happened, I was actually going to ask if my dad could come out with me and do some pump training. He kind of dumbs it down just enough, kind of like Bobby does. Excuse me, not Chief, Captain Eckert. Kind of dumbs it down and just enough so you can actually understand it. Kind of like Forrest's mama. She always had a way to understand so I can understand her.
That's the way I learned. You got to simple it down a little bit.
That's right.
Hey man, this ain't rocket surgery. I don't understand.
We're gonna get.
I don't know why that was the accent.
Do you know how many freaking? Something? We're gonna get shit on because you know how many fucking stickers we have sent to the South.
Right.
We're gonna get pooped on, boys. But no.
I mean, for the first year, years I lived here, my Kansas draw was bad. So,
we have South bashing privileges.
I mean, we're like
Southernerish.
We're gonna make fun of our own territory here in a little bit. Don't you worry.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, Winfield was just it was a short distance of Oklahoma. Short drive to Newkirk.
So, like I said, I'm gonna put off one segment for a little bit. We're gonna scroll down to the bottom of the page. So fucking days just mashed together for me lately with all this COVID-19 BS and my work schedule going this way. Nope, we're gonna go this way. Nope, we're gonna go this way. So earlier in the week, I think it was this week, we had, Maine is known for its paper mills. Shit, I lost my. we were actually talking about this before Travis joined us, and we weren't making fun, but we were poking fun of how us New Englanders talk. Persons. So before we dive into this, just so getting back to it, we had a paper mill explode. It was national news, and nobody. It is short of a miracle that nobody was injured, killed, nothing. Minor injuries. But there was a video posted. I think
a trucker.
I don't know which one of you guys shared it in our group chat. But it was a bunch of truckers. It was on the CB radio at the plant. So it was a bunch of them. And all of a sudden, you see the mill go up. And
the fucking mill just exploded.
And one of the guys go, Jesus Christ, the fucking mill blew up. And it's
fuck.
Holy fuck, that Kenworth's got to move out of the way. Just anybody who is curious about it is needing a good laugh. Again, just know nobody was hurt or killed, but we're poking fun of how us New Englanders talk and how bad.
Oh God, I'm watching the video.
Huh?
I was listening to the video again.
You know what? Screw it. Let's just pull it up.
It's off the news. This ain't like it's going to be a copyright thing.
I'll fucking pull it up. There it is.
How well did you hear it? How well did you hear it?
It was like muffled, but I knew what you were playing. Yo, that sounds like garbage. They moved the chips.
Just all these just logging truckers like old school Mainers. Holy shit, the fucking mill blew up. Just the Mainer accent's funny.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we're making fun of here. But again, if you go back to episode 4, is your department prepared for the big one? I mean,
This is a perfect example.
In a million years,
The fucking mill.
the fucking mill blew up. And you look at the
Apparently
whack-a-box.
more common than you think.
You know what? I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Like, because it was apparently like the digester where they break down the wood into pulp and
It's
everything.
superheated and makes it down into pulp, which makes it into paper.
Yeah, and it's apparently more commonplace. Not that it happens all the time, but it's not like so rare that you'll never see it.
Right. I think it was like Wednesday or something that this happened.
The 15th.
All right, I don't fucking know what day that is. But anyway. Oh, there we go. Holy fuck.
My favorite part is when they're bitching about the dude turning around. Man, that fucking Kenworth needs to hurry up.
All right, so I'm going to play it again. To me, they sound like fucking Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. Jesus Jesus fucking Christ, Ricky, the building blew up. But again, getting back to our point, if you go back to our previous episode, is your department prepared for the big one? I would love to have known if the J Main Fire Department was really, obviously they were prepared, because they thought they were going to, something between 9/11 and the Boston Marathon bombing. And they had med flight there. They had like 2 birds in a parking lot. They had pretty much every fucking town around them coming. I think they had the world coming at one point.
Well, I mean, it's also, unfortunately, they had Farmington to learn from.
Unfortunately. That was one of those raw deals that we have to learn from. And unfortunately, in the fire service, we are a reactive profession and not proactive, which is the reason why we're trying to jump ahead of this whole occupational cancer shit. Trying to be proactive and keep our brothers and sisters safe so they don't get, whatever fucking style of cancer that they end up getting. But kudos to the J Main Fire Department. I'm pretty sure they're a small call department, mill town. I remember going up there with the Red Cross when I worked for them, doing blood drives and shit, and we actually did blood drives at the high school up there. And I walked out after the blood drive, and holy fuck, boy, it fucking stunk. Travis, you can unmute yourself. Join in the conversation.
I was just, so real quick, just for like if anything weird showed up, I was just plugging this little laptop in because it was close to dying, and I would have just cut it.
And actually, nothing showed up. But yeah, fuck. What do we got for time here, boys? Jesus Christ! Great. Now
52 minutes.
Yep. Cool. We started the stream a little bit more than a little bit sooner than the podcast, but shit. All right. Now we want over the J Mill explosion. I wouldn't know what to fucking do if a fucking cone dropped right now and respond to a reported explosion. It would be like the fucking day that I walked out my house and I saw the fucking mill on fire. Travis fucking loves it when I fucking do it. The fucking hill's on fire.
The best reaction to something. I'm sorry.
Literally, I drove by the fucking old school, the old abandoned mill, and that's another thing that I learned from Captain Eckert. If you purchase his book, he actually goes over it. There is no such thing as a vacant building or abandoned.
Not until you prove it.
Exactly.
Occupied until proven otherwise.
Exactly. So if there's a shot of you going in and making that push inside to do a search, fucking do it. You got to be aggressive. Even though you can't physically train, get a Zoom account. It's free, and you can do 40-minute meetings, and you could do like a little tabletop style of meeting or whatever. Get everybody's sense on everything. It's like a circle. So if you guys have the show notes pulled up, this is, I really don't want to do the music because it's going to bug me. I'm doing all I can just to not fucking do this segment as it is. But
oh wait, you added more to it.
Well, what do you want?
I honestly, I can't. I don't. Where did you send it?
It's in the docs. It's in our docs.
It is, but the last time you talked about it, you sent more.
Yeah, I added more because there are more.
Because yeah, exactly.
And I added something about these guys. the whole point of remembering our brothers is knowing who they were, and why they decided to do this job.
Right.
So, I mean, we've talked about it, and so I decided, fuck it, let's do it. We're in a business where it's a brother and sisterhood. It's solid brothers doing solid brother things, and solid sisters doing solid sisters things, as National Fire Radio says. And remembering our fallen brothers is something that we should do. These are all fairly recent. A lot of them it's tough to hear because given the time that we're in, but across the world, our brotherhood reaches worldwide. It's not just an American thing. It's not just an Irish thing. It's worldwide. We recently lost 18 firefighters in China. They were operating a wildland fire, and shit got real and turned on them.
Last month? It was like end of last month, right?
Yeah. It was shortly before. We had a special guest coming on the show, and
yeah.
I very pissed offly dragged my feet, but I had to go deal with some administrative shit. I wasn't in trouble, but I am a head advisor.
Everyone got
one
busy.
of the head advisors to a junior program. So I got called away for a urgent junior.
Well, it was also that like he was on shift and they got busy.
Yeah.
That was more of what happened. So we recorded the real episode 5 like 7 times, and then we were talking about our favorite words. And then someone had to get a little too crazy, and then we couldn't use it. So we finally were just like, you know what?
Oh.
All right. I will admit it. I dropped the C word. I'm the guy. Every fucking time I stub my toe, I call something.
That was the second time. The third time was him.
Yeah, we're not gonna go there.
We're not gonna go
settle
there.
down, Kyle Larson. But no.
Anyways,
I mean, to be fair, I lied a little bit. There's a second definition of that word that I honestly had no idea about.
yeah, it was the other part.
Shit.
I use it like the English do over there and across the pond in England.
Yes.
That's the one.
Well, I mean, the word
way
that I like, I heard used on what is it? The Devil's Rejects. Captain Spaulding said it.
Damn right.
Freaking Captain Spaulding, come on.
Yeah, former Captain Spaulding. I mean, he's passed on. If you guys can get into the show notes, I need to go make a pit stop. Keep going. Keep talking. Keep talking fireman shit.
There was something else lately. The COVID has been taking a toll on people.
Yeah,
I don't like talking about deaths.
No. I'm having issues getting to the docks. I don't understand why.
Maybe we'll just awkwardly sit here till he gets back. It's so I had a while ago shared a link about a fundraiser for an FDNY paramedic. She was
was there any update on her?
I was just gonna look into that as I thought about it.
Oh, did I miss it? See it again, rookie biatch.
No. I was like, let's just awkwardly sit here till it's back because I'm talking about deaths.
Yeah.
Then I was gonna check up on the fundraiser that I had shared like a couple of weeks ago, last month, whenever.
Oh yeah. Any update on her?
That's what I was gonna look up. Just continue talking while I do it.
All right.
I gotta scroll back through like a week's worth of stuff.
So I need to stop fidgeting with that comb.
Dude. Dude, I've been playing with my hands every time because I can't use my hands. So again, these are all line of duty deaths that we're reading. They've all came to me, us. If you're not part of the secret list, it's something you.
If your department has I'm responding, it's part of your app.
Yeah.
You can go in.
So you go into the secret
and
list.
It's on your drop down menu.
Yep. So the next the next name on our list that we want to remember is Edison, New Jersey fire captain Richard Campbell. He was a 28-year veteran of the fire service. Again, our thoughts, our prayers are with his wife Kimberly and their four children. Captain Campbell lost his life. Foxy, I don't like talking about this kind of stuff. Complications of COVID-19. As well as all these other names on our list that we're remembering. This one, see, goddamn, my balls got to drop here, boys. Again, this is the reason why we wanted to fucking do this.
Just the New York City area alone has had quite a few in the last 3 weeks. I'm going through one of the Facebook pages I follow for calls and stuff, and it's just
it's definitely tough. So who else wants to grab a name? I really feel terrible about butchering names.
Right. As it was still scrolling all the way down to your app.
I'm gonna butcher this, so Mike, correct me if I'm wrong on butchering the name of the city. Passaic, New Jersey.
Passaic, New Jersey. I think so.
So
I don't remember.
Yeah. So, brother firefighter Israel Torlentino. Yeah. I apologize if I'm butchering his name. He joined the Passaic Fire Department in this past December. So he was still a probie. And unfortunately, again, our thoughts, our prayers are with his wife Maria and their two children. And again, died of complications of COVID-19. And the next two, they are both veteran firefighters of the Chicago Fire Department, which is, really tough to hear that they buried one brother on Monday and 2 days later they have to start planning another funeral for another brother. Travis, you want to take this name? Because it's Spanish. And you're way better at pronouncing Spanish names than I am.
So, I might butcher it too, but out of Chicago, the first one is Mario Araujo.
Araujo. Thank you.
Araujo.
Yes, I listened to a news thing just so I could pronounce his name right.
Yeah.
But he was, a proud member of the Chicago Fire Department, like we said, and he was assigned to Truck 25, where he joined the fire service in 2003. So senior guy. And our next one, again, Chicago, is firefighter Edward Singleton. He was stationed at the Midway Airport Fire Station, and he was a veteran of 32 years, give or take. It might be 33. He started on the job in 1987. And the next one is a brother. No matter what, he was a paramedic out of Delaware County, Pennsylvania, and it was paramedic Kevin Bundy. He was a member of the Mercy Fitzgerald Hospital in the Kaiser Keystone EMS department. I didn't get and all these brothers that we lost complications of COVID-19.
Okay, so I went to the fundraiser page, and there was actually an update today, coincidentally.
Tell me something good.
So,
Don't hit me with some bad news.
going back, when I had shared the fundraiser, it was an FDNY paramedic. She had been intubated, so there was actually an update today. She's still in the ICU on a ventilator. She'd been in the hospital for 31 days, and 26 of those days were on life support. They've had to, remove fluid from her lungs. She's stabilized and is doing at least okay, considering.
So she's ICU stable.
Yeah, exactly. She's ICU stable. They're trying to, pull her off the ventilator slowly.
And that's
her father apparently had a stroke last week. This is just Jesus. Well, she's ICU stable at least.
Yeah, and this really just goes to disprove that what everybody's saying. Oh, it's just old people. No, not really.
No, I mean,
anyone can still get sick, but like.
Yeah. I mean, granted, these guys, they were essentially healthy guys. I don't know their ages, but they were healthy. They were healthy guys.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but don't matter. I mean, and when everybody's like, "Oh, we need to open up the country," no, this is the reason why at the beginning.
Sure, but you got to be smart about it.
Exactly.
You can't just be like open,
free range, open everything.
It'd be like, oh, you got a femoral bleed. Okay, let's put
break
on a
the
tourniquet.
pressure off.
Like 2 seconds
open the
later,
tourniquet.
okay, let's take it off.
I'm not. But and these brothers, like I said, these brothers died in the line of duty contracting COVID-19.
So now that I'm going back, so it's an article from the 28th. The first NYPD detective to die related to coronavirus was Cedric Dixon. This is an old article. This article was written on the 28th, and they were still reporting so NYPD, it was 4,220 cops were out sick. 570 were tested positive. 18 were hospitalized. That was March 28th from this article.
Yeah.
New York City, just emergency services in general, and that area had been hit so ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And when I talk about it at work, when we discuss COVID, I'm tired of talking about it, but it's just relevant, and everybody should know, how serious this virus is. For people who aren't, really into the system like we are, because there are people who aren't in the healthcare industry and listen to this show, or now in this case watching this show. That should know how serious everything is, in case they're the dipshits fucking protesting, which is their God-given right. But they should know how serious this actually is.
It's not just a whatever joke. Like,
no, this isn't.
Getting sick is still serious.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we did these protocols for the flu, because again, more people die from the flu every year. But
or like when swine flu was going around, it wasn't as deadly, but it hit like 60 million people in the U.S. I think over the time span of like a year.
Yeah, I mean, you did. I think you did a protocol or a webinar or some type.
Yeah, everyone had to do the pandemic update because the state was like, "Oh my God, we actually have to, put in place policies right now for this."
Right, it's something that I am hoping that we never ever see in our lifetime. We haven't seen anything this catastrophic since the Spanish flu in the early 1900s.
Yeah, talking about the second wave thing, I was just reading a little thing about it. It was like, I think it was 1918. Whenever World War I ended, they had all been kind of isolating because of the Spanish flu and everything. And they were like, hell yeah, we won the war. And everyone was celebrating and everything and out in the streets. And then the second wave came.
Yeah, so that was 1918.
Yeah.
A little bit of world history there. But again, getting back to remembering our fallen brothers, Framingham Deputy Chief Bradford Smith. He succumbed to a short battle of occupational cancer. Brother Smith had 32 years in the fire service. He served the citizens of Framingham, Massachusetts, and he also served as a member of FEMA's Task Force 1, and some of that time included down at Ground Zero, searching for anybody. As we know, a lot of people were recovered from that whole thing. But this is definitely something that we're going to start doing on our show. And as much as we hate it, I actually had planned to do, the intro of Amazing Grace by the Dropkick Murphys, because who the fuck doesn't love the Dropkick Murphys? And if you don't, you're un-American.
Or at least not Boston Irish.
You just and again, with this whole COVID thing is, we're missing out on cool things like concerts and everything like that. So I'm, going off of the fire service topic, I am super glad to see artists like the Dropkick Murphys. I feel like they lit the fire on these live streaming concerts.
Yep.
Taking something that they're so used to doing, performing on St. Patrick's Day, and they fucking did it. I'm so glad. And again, they're doing their own little charity work through the Clatter Fund. For anybody who wants to go to the just search the Clatter Fund. Again, we're not, we're just helping.
Just talking about things.
We're talking about things, helping our fellow humans out. And Ken Casey and the boys in the Murphys, the Dropkick Murphys, they have a foundation called the Clatter Fund. Typically, it's used to help people get help staying clean. But during this time, they are taking those efforts and any money raised and helping people in the restaurant industry that have been kicked out of their jobs, essentially, and now they have no source of income. 2-income households, and now might be one household and one person incomes now. So that's what they're doing now. So if you got a little extra change, head over to the Clatter Fund and help those families out. And I mean, again, not to plug Captain Eckert, but he had his own little raffle fairly recently, and it was going to go to help first responder families.
Isn't I mean, they do it anyways, but isn't the Dennis Leary Foundation doing specific stuff too?
I can't confirm that. I
mean, they do stuff to begin with, but
right. And again, the Dennis Leary Firefighters Foundation was started because Dennis lost his cousin December 3rd, 1999 in the cold storage warehouse fire. Fun little fact if you guys didn't know it. And again, that's it. I remember as a kid seeing that and being like this and seeing those services and be like, man, I want to fucking do this job. That's a family. I come from a tight-knit family to begin with. But the fire, I miss going to the firehouse and hanging out with the brothers. And, I was on shift for 2 hours today and I didn't leave until 9:30 because I was shooting the shit with the duty crew. I miss it,
The cootie Drew.
Yeah. Definitely having the brothers around is definitely makes this going through this shit a little bit easier. I don't know about the rest of you, but my personal Instagram is always open. I'm here to talk. Even if you want to DM us on the Truck Schmucks page, the DM is always open.
Yeah, you'll get an auto reply at first, but
that's on the Facebook Messenger. But if you message us through Instagram, it's me you're talking to. It could be any one of the three of us on the Facebook page.
Facebook, it's usually John or I. I have it linked on my phone, so when I was talking to someone the other day, he was just like, yeah, thanks for getting back so quick. I was like, I have it linked to my phone, so I pretty much know immediately when someone messages us.
Exactly. And me,
You get an auto reply, but it's just a like, hey, thanks for messaging us. We'll get back to you in a minute. Like,
yeah. And speaking of that, hopefully everyone has gotten their sticker orders. I know, obviously, the squad father has gotten his, which was fucking amazing.
because you were talking to him about it.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, he messaged me and was like, the sticker came in at the perfect time because they actually just got the blessing to start going back to the firehouse again. So yay for them. So we have I think we have a few stickers left. I think we should start to think about either ordering some t-shirts or some more stickers. I don't matter to me.
We could always do stickers because they're easy. It was like you got 100 for pretty cheap. And
it was decent money.
Because if we start doing shirts, it's going to cost people more. It's really easy to buy a sticker.
Yeah, but eventually I do want to get some Truck Smush t-shirts. I have actually designed them. They look fucking mint, as the kids say nowadays.
There's a lot of websites that like sell t-shirts and you just like make an account and it hosts your designs and then they deal with all of that.
But I really want to go local.
Yeah.
To get our t-shirts.
There's plenty of places nearby that could do it.
Yeah. I have one in mind. I'll talk to you guys about it off air. And it's right in York. I think it's York. I don't give a shit. Bull shirt. If you guys are interested, one of us can reach out to them and see what we can get made up. I think we might have to send it out to see who would be interested in buying a t-shirt. We're kind of doing this in steps. We're not going to bite off any more of this steak than we can chew. I work full time. Travis and Bagels work full time. This has been a fun ride. I'm gonna ride this wave as long as we can. We got pretty cool, respectable people offering out to reach out, and if we need help from them or anything that they can do, hey, just give us a message, just give us a shout, and we'll see what we can do. And that meant a lot to me last night. I was talking to a person who I respect, who is pretty up here in my eyes, and that was pretty fucking cool. But yeah, how we this sucks because I wanted to do a Q&A. So if anybody's watching and you have the ability to either go on Facebook or Instagram, message us. So yeah, reach out to it. Holy shit, we actually
got a message right here. What's 2 + 2?
Are you kidding me? Is that really
No, I'm kidding. I just made that shit up.
It's always fish. Double down, 2 + 2 is always fish.
I fucking hate you guys. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Is that really a fucking message?
No.
I would have fucking lost my shit. And again,
where is it?
That is how I roll. I know I cuss a lot, but that is just how I roll.
On the same subject though about messaging, if you have some like ideas, topics you want us to maybe even briefly talk about, if you message us and be like, hey, I have an idea for an episode,
This is something I really want to talk about.
Yeah, we'll either, if it's something that we can do, we will. Just give us ideas, because we're kind of also at a point where we're like, yeah, we still have some ideas and things we want to talk about, but there's also part of it where it's like we're recording an episode and then we kind of waffle for 20 minutes and then it was like, I can't
what
think
we're
of
talking
anything.
about. Similar to right now. I mean, again, when I get on get on with these guys. I don't want to stop talking. I love talking about the fire service. I'm very passionate about the fire service. Speaking of, we were talking about niches. What's your guys' niche? I have no idea what you guys are passionate about in the fire service, or what tickles your fancy.
My niche, it first started like when I was still with the very first department I started with. A family friend still is actually a captain on the call force, the city that I live in now. It was search and rescue, and it still is search and rescue. I absolutely loved doing search and rescue drills with them. It's had to go by my side for obvious reasons, but still, I'll catch myself. Not even catch myself. I'll just go off and just watch videos about it still, and be like, okay, just brush up on it, because it was one of those things that immediately I was like, yes, this is what I like.
Yeah, then it really tickled your fancy to watch to do that webinar today, because they started to dive into the search and rescue of truck work.
Well, and then the coin kind of flipped, and with the time that I had to spend getting my advanced EMT license, it kind of changed into starting to lean a little bit more into the medical side of things. But the love for search and rescue and doing fire is still there, obviously.
Right. Mine, obviously, I think we've talked about it in previous episodes.
Wildland.
It is wildland. Wildland definitely tickles the fancy. But lately, just because of being stuck inside, back into like the structural side of things, I'm starting to find myself being really interested in reading smoke. And
knowing the difference between smoke and steam.
Exactly, and the velocity of smoke. What's that smoke telling you inside? And that kind of dove into
direction.
And that kind of dove into the other thing. Now, if you start talking about a structural fire in a hoarding situation, a lot of that shit piled up into the house is going to change what that smoke is telling you, because it's going to change the flow pattern of the smoke.
The smell of it, the taste of it, the touch of it,
the texture.
The texture.
Quickly put it in the smoke box.
Yeah, the smoke box.
Shave me from myself.
Shave me from myself. I am disgusting.
But and just to clarify a few things, I get a lot of messages of people just because of our name, Truck Schmucks. Well, with the exception of Travis. Travis is different. I think Travis is the only department out of the three of us that actually has a ladder truck.
But I have worked on one. That's the difference.
Exactly. I too have worked on a truck, and I love truck work. I absolutely love truck work. I love being able to go in, smash shit up.
The only reason I did the engine as much as I did on the last department I was on is because the tower didn't get out that much, because they had a 95-foot quint, 750 tank with calves, cross lays, everything, 3-pipe ladder, and they were afraid to run it first due, it seemed. So it didn't always go out. The engine was like guaranteed, so I would always try to jump on the engine. It's weird how it's just how they would run things, and I always thought it was weird.
Right.
They underutilized their ladder truck. They really did.
Yeah. And plus staffing, ties a huge part in it.
Yeah.
I miss training on a ladder truck or a tower truck or snorkel. I miss that. One of the departments that I was on for a very short period of time, I think a year. I was on, we were divided into companies, and I happened to be just stuck on the tower truck, which was amazing.
Stuck.
stuck. Voluntold I was on the tower truck.
Oh no.
I know, super bad. And you know, I'll have to get permission from their chief. If I could post a picture of their tower truck. I absolutely love this truck. And I believe, yep, it's a rear mount tower truck.
Rear mount pump or the turntables in the back?
The turntables in the back.
Okay.
So it's definitely a rear mount.
Okay. My brain was like rear mount pump? No.
What? I mean, they do have them.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Also enclosed cabs, pumps, engines. I don't fucking get it. You know, just out of necessity. I've been on mostly departments with a lot of engines. They were engine heavy. So when I got the opportunity to be on a tower truck, I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. I bought a helmet front with a red number right on the front of it. But yeah, you know, I really, if we could go back and redesign things, you know, one of the EMS members on our department, Bagels, has dubbed us the salty bastards because she couldn't remember our podcast.
I mean, that's not really wrong, especially, you know, someone who like knows us personally.
Right.
I'm fairly salty, not like experienced salty, but just like I'm generally pissy a lot of times.
I mean, it can go either way. I mean, I've been, you know, I may not look it. I know I look like I'm about 12 years old, but you know, I've been doing this job since I was 16. I've definitely seen my fair share of shit and been in my fair share of shit. My leather helmet that I wear, and it was I've worn it since. So it was made a year before I got it. I have to go into my truck and
maybe that's what I'll do with my stimulus money.
You should let the helmet and wait 30 seconds. Do it.
I'm really picky about it, and I'm looking for like a really specific one, so I haven't done it yet.
Dude, a Phoenix TL2.
That's probably what I'm going to do, but I want to get it natural.
Right. Ugh.
I don't know yet. That's what I'm saying. I'm still like debating.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Kids.
Then you don't have to worry about what color it is.
No offense to anybody. No offense to anybody who runs a natural colored leather helmet. It is just, to me, it's like a fucking Prius. It's ugly.
Yeah, some of the like the N5 looks alright. The Phoenix, still iffy on it. Which
I mean, I run an N5, but I actually tried on a Gen 1 TL, like TL2 leather Phoenix helmet, and I fucking loved it. And I actually kicked myself in the ass to this day of not buying one when they were actually decent money. When they were like,
honestly, they're not that bad right now.
No, I mean, they're still one of the cheapest leather helmets on the market. They're exactly that. They're cheap. They're NFPA approved, and people want them because they're leather helmets. I mean, leather helmets are bad fucking ass to begin with. I am one of those leather heads through and through. I was pissed when I was told that I had to wear a composite helmet.
I still run a Cons 1010.
You composite. Ugh. Maybe that's what you should do with your stimulus money, is buy a leather helmet.
I thought about it.
But you got...
And, I mean, divided up between Sarah and I. It's like, oh, well, we can do something that you wanted to do for years, or we can get you a helmet. I'm like, well, I like the history I have with my cons, so I was like...
Exactly. And that's the biggest thing. You know, not just because of all the decals that are on my helmet, it's still original. You know, if I sent it away to get refurbed, you know, I feel like a lot of that shit will go away.
Only certain things that get refurbed, like the words, the impact shell, stuff like that. The outside I'd leave the same. unless it was really busted up.
I mean, it's starting to show its age. Every now and then I take the leather soap to it. Just before I put it back in service, I gave it a good leather soap bath. Just to kind of moisten the leather. I know a lot of women, which, according to our analytics, not a lot of women listen to our show. So we can say the word moist. But I really want more women, just to kind of even out the scale, I would love to have more women listen to this show. Because there are female firefighters out there, and I would love to have a female firefighter on the show. So if you are a female firefighter and listen to our show, come on in. I mean, Bagels dates a female firefighter.
I was like, not saying no.
I mean, we could ask her. I'm sure she.
But I know other people too.
Right. I mean, I know this many female firefighters. So if anybody knows a female firefighter, and
one of my mentors from when I was a junior.
Get her on the show, man.
She still does it anymore.
If I know people who know female firefighters. And I think just because of, balancing the scale on this job, anybody can do this job. Anybody who's got, and I'm gonna quote Bobby G, from the New York City Fire Department. There's a video of him going around a lot lately. There's only 2 main ingredients to do this job. 1, you got to have heart. 2, you got to have balls. Everything else we can teach you. If you have heart and balls, you're going to be okay in this job. Funny enough that somebody actually shared that video to my Facebook page. But yeah. That's all I got. Anybody else got concluders? Travis,
I could get a Phoenix helmet for $726 right now off the fire store.
Perfect, but you gotta wait 36 weeks.
Yep.
So yeah.
No, I don't really have much.
Yeah, I don't have much on my end either.
Yeah. So while we were having technical difficulties, I extended our meeting. I can do that. I'm like a Zoom.
Oh yeah,
I'm a Zoom master because I use it so much at work now. Oh, that's just disgusting. Don't get that.
Those aren't in stock. Don't worry about it.
Look, this is the fucking helmet he wants, everybody.
That's the helmet I took a picture of. Yeah, there you go.
That's
it's not even in stock, so I couldn't get it if I wanted to.
That's just gross. That looks like poop.
I should get it out of spite just to annoy you now.
You know what? Do it. I'll piss in it. I wouldn't do that. I would never, ever do that to anybody. I talk a big game. Funny that we have been talking about this, man, all fucking episode practically. And who the hell likes one of the posts that we do? Chief Martin.
Oh my God.
It's okay. Put it away. Put it away. But no, I like I said, I am really digging everything that he's doing or anybody's doing right now. And I'm also working on a few guests. They gotta wait for their schedules to clear. So in that it's not set in stone yet. But really, really cool things are happening in the Truck Schmucks future. One of our followers, a few of our followers actually want to come on the show. But I'll talk to you guys about it off the air, off the line.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, wait till you guys hear the lineup that want to come on or are interested in coming on.
My God, an N6A is like $1,000 right now.
Ugh, it's so stupid. It's a freaking helmet, but it's a bad
I'm too poor for that. Too rich for
man.
my blood.
Demand.
Yeah, I don't know where the fucking demand for leather helmets came from again. Like it went away and they dropped. And I'm so glad that I got one when I did.
And then it's like leather.
Mine's like 2013. Like mine was manufactured in 2012. But the best thing about it is leather doesn't really lose its structural integrity. In my eyes. I mean, that's just me. But yeah, that's all I got. And again, anybody that has any questions, either DM us or Facebook message us, or I don't even, do we have an email? Email at
Let's give an
email.com?
email.
Mail@gmail.
Mail@gmail.com. But I mean, I'm like on the edge of the frame. You'd have to be on Facebook anyways, because that's probably how you found out about us. So just either Facebook or Instagram. And if you really feel like sending us an email, it's on Facebook, or it should be.
Trucks. I can't even fucking pronounce it. It fucking irritates the shit out of me. It's spelled wrong. But Bagels did
It's on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
It's on purpose that like half the time it's spelt right and half the time it's spelt wrong.
Yeah. So I got it from I got the spelling from the movie Dinner for Schmucks. So that's how I got the spelling for Schmucks. But yeah.
So like the email is just schmucks without the C. So it's truck SMHUCKS. It's right on the Facebook if you go to the about for our page. Same thing with the YouTube channel.
Well, all right. I'll be right back with you, gentlemen. I gotta hit the.
You got to hit the head. We'll probably wrap it up here because he got to go pee anyways.
Yeah.
So
I got
all good. We've been going for like an hour and a half. We
Yeah.
had a good run.
All right.
It's kind of more of like a test.
Yeah. So when Travis comes back from his socks, I'm gonna hit the head. Obviously I've downed a few bottles of water while doing this.
Just cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Cup of coffee in the big times.
And plus my cup of coffee. So yeah, anybody who is into the job, as you can see, More Toast Coffee is owned and operated by firefighters.
There's also like fire department coffee.
Yep.
Jason's pretty funny.
Jason
you haven't seen Fire Department Chronicles. Jason's pretty goddamn funny.
Hilarious. I really want to get that dude on the show. I feel like we would all fucking piss ourselves laughing.
I feel like that would be such a good shit show, but I feel like it'd be a shit show.
I mean, he was on National Fire Radio, and he was pretty funny.
He knows how to be serious.
Yeah, he's articulate. Let's just put it that way, but in a good way.
What else? Black Rifle Coffee.
Black Rifle Coffee. Hot Shot Brewing. They make coffee. They are, if you're into the wildland thing. So Travis, we're plugging coffee companies now.
We're not sponsored. We're just talking about.
No, we're just talking about different coffees. I've tried Black Rifle Coffee. I've tried Toast. And I've tried Hot Shot Brewing. Moitos. So I apologize to those brothers who own that coffee company. I have a hard time pronouncing the coffee. But and there's shit. Give me a second. I haven't tried it yet, but I want to.
Haven't you drank Black Rifle Coffee?
There's Black Boot Coffee. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Black Rifle Coffee is good.
I used to subscribe to Black Rifle Coffee. I used to get 2 bags.
Their YouTube channel, hilarious.
Oh, fucking Matt Best. Funny.
Yeah, they're doing that.
Funny fucking bastard. For any
reviewing the
right,
movies.
Now you two get to do whatever you want. I'll be right back.
There really isn't a whole lot. Here's my hair, my quarantine hair. I'm looking like Brandon Herrera, the AK guy. Yeah, I got hat hair because I almost always wear a hat. Here we go. Hold on.
Ugh. Oh, here goes.
Hold on. Ugh, it's not doing it.
It did it earlier.
Aliens. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. My hair's a mess. It is complete crapshoot. You know it's time to cut your hair when you tighten the straps on your mask and you pull hair out of your scalp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
got my insane sideburns that are turning. If I didn't have to shave for a mask, I would rock the mutton chops. 'Cause, you know, the mutton stash. Duh, come down into the mustache. Yeah, I need a haircut, like real bad.
Would that be NFPA compliant?
Mutton stash? Nope, because it would block right here. This is borderline because where my mustache goes and where my sideburns are, it's just in line for a mask. So I just need a haircut.
I love Travis.
My regular stopped working at the barber shop. I'm sad about that.
mm-hmm.
I think all of us are pretty sad that I can't go see my barber at Boston Loaded Dice. Down the road from down your way, Michael, down in California way.
Yes, I go to we'll just plug barbers. I go to High and Tight in Portland, Maine, because you can drink beer while you get your hair cut, and it costs like $16. It's either 16 or 18 with the discount.
Dude, I go see Billy at Loaded Dice. I will plug him all day long. I don't give a shit if I have to wait in line 3 hours. Like, the dude sits there, cuts your hair, like all the barbers. They used to be. Now they merged the Dover and the Rochester location. Whatever. It is what it is. But
I like the fact that at High and Tight you get to drink a beer while you're getting your hair cut.
Dude, I really want to go to what is it? Shit. What is that one in Portland on Exchange Street?
The one on Exchange Street, I'm not sure. This one's on this one's in the Time and Temperature building.
Yeah, that one's in the Time and Temp. But shit.
So it's on Preble Street technically.
Yeah.
It's barbershop on Exchange Street. I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I haven't been there.
Yeah, and it's a pretty they serve you get a membership there, and you can it's just little things like that. Like, they serve you a drink. Like, you can have a gin and tonic before you even get your hair cut. It's amazing.
I can only imagine. Like, there's been days I've went down to High and Tight with bagels, and I haven't eaten anything all day. So I'll sit there while he's getting his haircut, and I'll slam a, what is it, Sierra Pale Ale? Whatever.
I can't remember what they had.
Oh, Sierra Nevada?
Yes.
Oh, the Pale Ale. It's pretty good. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I can hear from the last episode that we've done, and I am really digging the Switchback Ale. Like, it's a well balanced reddish ale. It's brewed in Vermont. But yeah, I'm if we're gonna talk about beers, we can do a Truck Smokes beer special.
We could do a beer episode.
Good. I have a kit to make.
Break away from firefighting for a little bit, especially nowadays where it's like, just don't want to talk. I am very passionate about this job. I love this job, but also, we should get back on just to have just a talk around. We really should have James back.
We should.
Yeah. Especially, I really feel mental health is really important nowadays. I know I've taken a couple of mental health days from my real job just to kind of get my head right, because it sucks. Like, it's constantly it's a mind fuck. Which sucks. I've been
working less lately.
Yeah.
I significantly cut back my hours for next month because I'm just fried for a lot of reasons.
I think it would be good for you. Just spend a little bit of time with Jess. But yeah, we've been going almost
2 hours.
We almost did another 2-hour episode.
So we're doing the thing where we're like, yeah, we're gonna wrap up, and then we keep talking for another 20 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up.
What we can do is we can stop the recording and then we can keep going. We can stop all the recordings but yeah, again, everybody, huge
Huge, bigly.
Very bigly. Thank you for everyone's continued support of us. It keeps us going. And plus all the new big names of the fire service that have been messaging us and
Or
sharing.
just whenever we see them follow us, we have like a little nerdgasm.
Yeah, I mean it's
Right.
it's a little saltgasm.
Yeah.
You know, anybody who goes through our followers list can see these names that pop up, and if you know anything about the fire service or know who these guys are, you'll have a little saltgasm too.
Well, I cannot keep like so it's been happening so frequently that I mean I've gotten to the I'll be at work and I'll just look at my phone like
Oh my God, this person follows us, or I'll see it and take a screenshot and then I'll send it to you guys, and then it's like, holy fuck. You know, like one of our followers, he may or may not be a lieutenant in a 4-letter big name department.
Ooh.
Go insert wherever you think here. You know, that was kind of cool, and he liked one of our posts, and it's like a little like
Oh
a
God.
little saltgasm. But it's super cool. I mean, that the near fact that those types of senior guys want to help us junior guys get our message out, and you know, it's humbling a little bit. It's kind of cool, a little humbling. It's like shit. It's moving too quick. It's like a stage 5 clinger, but it's like that stage 5 clinger you don't want to go away, because if they're listening, those types of guys are listening and listening to what we have to say and being like looking at it from a junior member perspective. That's pretty cool. You know, that they'll turn around and be like, hey, if you need help, just let us know. It's like, well, fuck.
Right.
It's like, fuck. But yeah, that's all I got for this episode. It's been fun. I really want to do more of these live webisodes. Cool idea, Travis. This is Travis's idea. So anybody who was like, man, I really love the Schmucks webisode, it's fucking Travis.
no, we all talked about it.
Yeah, but it was this portion was your spawn.
Yeah. Real quick though, before we wrap things up, just from the show notes, there was something about what advice would, like the same thing we did from our first episode, what advice would we give to people just getting on? Also, I want to take a little spin on that and so what would you say to yourself from this point? What would you say to yourself that is just getting on the job?
Oh, fuck.
Stay away from certain people.
Yeah.
Besides that,
No, just in general, there's certain type of like personalities.
yeah. I mean, negativity in the fire service is very easy to get, and that negativity bug is really it's.
Because I've even been that guy.
So haven't
I think we've all been that guy, and I will flat out said, I was actually talking to one of our paramedics today that we've probably all worked with. I was like, you know, seeing Travis with us and seeing Travis with his current department, night and day. I think the move you made, Travis, leaving us to go where you are now, I think it was the best move for you personally. Just knowing you personally and professionally, I think it was the best move for you, bro. You know, I really honestly think change was needed. I think we really need to wrap things up because Travis may need to go and spend a little birthday time with his wife.
Yeah, right. And I got errands I have to run today.
I saw the door open up and Travis be like 5 minutes. Then it ain't gonna be 5 minutes.
It was 5 minutes, 20 minutes ago because we're doing the thing where we're saying, yep, we're gonna wrap up for the 4th time now.
Yeah,
right,
but
so I'm gonna shut up. So I'm gonna go off of this and I'm gonna shut up. Yes.
Your concluder, and then leave our meeting, and then we'll slowly leave our meeting.
So
thank Sarah for letting us borrow you for almost 2 hours.
Right.
Actually, it is 2 hours at this point.
And it's been 2 hours.
But so going off of what I agree with you that it absolutely was the best choice because honestly, with how negative I was running people off in my own personal life. I was an absolute fucking douchebag. But what I would tell myself getting into this profession, standing from this point that I'm at now, is like it's gonna sound cliche, gonna sound I don't know, sissified, I guess. But stay true to who you are. Keep your compass facing true north. You're not everybody's gonna like you. You're not gonna be everybody's everything. Who fucking cares? Who
Yeah, you don't
really
have
gives
to.
a shit?
And
Do the best you can, and don't limit yourself to, oh, this person doesn't like me, so, and then this person doesn't like me. Well, I look up to him. So fucking what? If you look up to him, good. You don't have to fucking like him, but you can still look up to him.
exactly.
But also, I would also say, even from a year ago, like, quit being a fucking douchebag.
I mean, you know, and to feed off of that, I would definitely tell myself the same thing. Stick to who you are. You know, you're not everybody's flavor of cup of tea. You know, I know I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole until you get to know me, and then you know, it is who it is. I am who I am, just like Papa used to say.
Damn who I am.
Exactly. But yeah, you got to stick true to yourself, and you know, obviously, you're not gonna like everybody you're gonna work with, and not everybody's gonna like you, and you just gotta, you know what, whatever. As long as there's two things. As long as you have their back, if they don't like you, you have their back when the shit hits the fan. And two, if they don't like you, as long as in their mind they have your back when the shit hits the fan, those are the two most important things. You know, I know, you know, I went through a rough patch where I trusted people about this fucking much. I trusted people just as far as I could throw them. But that's not who I am anymore. I'm expanding my mind, and just I found my passion for this job again. I literally I used to eat, sleep, and breathe the fire service when I was 16, 18, from pretty much from 16 years old to about 22 years old. I ate, slept, and breathed. I ruined a lot of relationships in my personal life just because of this job, because I loved it so much. And I found that love again. And the biggest thing is I can't remember where I've heard it or seen it. It's not a bad thing to love this job. Don't ever be ashamed of loving this job. This job is at times not going to love you back, but love it, learn from it. Still, again, get with those senior guys, ask them questions. Don't be fucking afraid to reach out and ask questions and be like, hey, you know, even if it sounds fucking stupid in your mind, just fucking ask a question. Even if you're not sure about something, ask it anyway. It's going to show you the person you are. You know, that type of character. And that's my fucking 2 cents.
Not everybody knows everything, and if they say they do, they're fucking wrong.
Exactly. And anybody that says, well, you know, I've done that. You know, I've done that before. I don't need to do it again. Can you do it proficiently? Can you do it with your eyes closed? Ooh. Keep fucking doing it. Keep fucking doing it until, you know, one of the biggest things that pissed me off is a junior explorer said, well, we've already ran, you know, we've already pulled hose, we've already flowed water. Can you do it proficiently? No.
Show me right now, and if you can do it, then I won't bring it up.
Exactly. Keep fucking doing it. Repetition, it creates perfection. You know, and like I tell people all the fucking time, this isn't an eye job. The egos get people killed. And you know, anybody that has an ego problem getting into this job, you're not going to last long because you're going to
Leave it at the fucking door.
You're going to get exactly. Leave your ego at the front door. This is a team sport. And like I tell people all the time, and I'm gonna actually share this on our Instagram page, and do with it what you will. There's a sign in the locker room of the Notre Dame football locker room as they head down the stairs and onto the field. There's a little thing just above their head that says "Play like a champion today." Fucking A, that means a lot. Take it with whatever you want. You know, you go into every day playing like a champion, nothing's gonna stop you. I mean, what makes a champion? You know, in the fire service, we're a team, and you know, we should act accordingly. We're not just a team; we're a fucking family. We spend a lot of time together. I know that at one point over the summer, the three of us, we were spending a shat ton of time together. I think we spent more time with each other than our own families. But you know, you gotta be able to pepper. Whatever. And so, what advice would you give your younger self there, Mikey?
I already said it. Just stay away from certain people, certain kind of personalities.
You know, negativity is very contagious, and you know, negativity is like the coronavirus. You know, and positivity is the vaccine in the fire service, in any firehouse. Positivity is the vaccination. You take a shot.
Not before E, except after C.
Exactly.
I got a fever.
And the only prescription is more positivity.
More cowbell.
No, more positivity. You know, it is what it is. You know, and believe it or not, there is a plaque down at the New Hampshire Fire Academy that says exactly that. It is what it is. And that came from a C2F2 class, one of the last couple of C2F2 classes. It is what it is, because there was a time where, do we keep C2F2 or do we get rid of it? And C2F2 is the career level firefighting class that was the end-all be-all class in New Hampshire for a very long time. So yeah, that's all I got for today.
Yeah, we'll wrap up for the fifth time.
I am talked out. For once, mark it on the fucking calendar, boys.
We all got stuff we gotta do. So we gotta go wrap it up finally.
What?
So,
I gotta go fucking take a nap?
I gotta go do some couple things and then go take a nap. So hey, thanks for watching as much as you guys have. It's pretty awesome. This kind of just started off as like, hey, wouldn't that be cool? And then
wouldn't that be cool? And then we did it, and then we were like, this isn't gonna go fucking anywhere.
Like, oh shit, like we're actually getting some pretty good traction. So I thank you. It's pretty cool. I just like to do this in my spare time because I'm bored when I'm not at work. It's pretty much how it goes. And so we thank you. And
You're all, yeah, every single one of you on the Grum, on the Face Place, like and follow. You're rock stars.
We're starting to sound like Bill Belichick. The snap face, face.
McMe page.
Exactly. And again, I personally, any message that comes in, I personally want to take care of it and answer and talk and get to know everybody who's following us, learn about their job, or wherever they're working on the job. That is fine tool work, Michael.
Random paperclip. Anyways,
but
so
again,
we'll end it there. We'll end it there with the thank yous and the paper clips.
Yes. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe. Wash your fucking hands. Use your PPE.
Sing happy birthday twice. Get your palms.
Exactly. And remember, and if you're in that same predicament that Bob Marley, the comedian, is in, you got your dink hand and your Corona hand. Which one are you going to touch the sink with? I think you're going to touch it with my dink hand. So again, and if anybody wants to go watch that, go find Bob Marley. He is a true Maina. But yeah, that's where we're going to end it. Again, we're going to leave it on the thank you. Wash your hands and stay safe, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
I'm still recording.